Okay, I'm sorry I had to cut that off and start all over. There was a break in my transmission, but we can still continue. It's still on the same matter that we have been talking about. It has to do with Femi Adesina coming up to say that Nigerians are more attracted to President Buhari than Awolowo, Azikiwe, Aminu, Kano, men and women of timber. I mean, men of timber like caliber. He didn't mention any woman's name there, and so on. But then, what are we trying to say? I find it disgusting and very depressing when I hear certain things. And like I said earlier on, if you didn't see that in this one, I have said before that when you expect to see or hear some level of wisdom from particular quarters, you don't get it, you get disappointed. Now, I'm not pointing any accusing fingers. And also, Nigerians are said to be the best all over the world. Talk about medicine and all of that. Nigerians are top notch. So I feel most of the time whenever I hear Mr. Femi Adesina make certain statements, I personally feel somehow. I stand to be corrected, but then I always feel disappointed most of the time. And I do not know why. I think you should leave President Muhammad Buhari to run this government. And why I said that is just, it's not for any reasons, not for any selfish reasons, but for let him just concentrate and do what he has to do, and his tenure will be up, and he will move on, and somebody else will come in, and let it just be like that, seriously. And stop inciting the anger of people by making funny statements. Yes, we are more attracted to President Muhammad Buhari than we have ever been to any other. And that's because one of the reasons why we are more attracted is because we have certain experiences that we have never had in our lifetime. We have never seen things like this before. And by this, I'm talking about those of us who are still young. And so if they talked about once upon a time, then yes, that's okay, but we were not there. And so we could always say, oh, really? When? So is that it? Was that when? And so on and so forth. So it's okay. We start to be corrected. But then when you now come up and become the mouthpiece, you now begin to see the minds of Nigerians. No, from the State House, you can read the minds of Nigerians with all the dailies, all that you see in the dailies, all that you see online. You still come out. Are you trying to, well, I don't expect you to come and speak ill of your principal, but then will you come out and still make certain statements? Certain things, I must say at this point, are better left unsaid. I tell you, are better left unsaid. Am I saying that some people are not attracted to it? At least you are attracted to President Muhammad Buhari. And for us, by extension, he is our president. We are in Konshesi. He is our president. Oh, Kilavesh is all right networking. Well, it's okay. Let's just continue. Ari Konshesi is our president. He's our president. I mean, you find it, we find it very, very alarming and very, very angering, if there's any word like that. You come out to make such statements. We are not supposed to begin to bring back, memories. These are men who even people who are alive today still want to look like them. The likes of the national chieftain of the APC, the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He looks, he behaves, he wants to, he does everything around him to look like Awolowo. The glasses, the cap, or he does everything to look like him. We want to emulate them. We talk about the likes of Azikiwe today. We talk about the likes of Aminu Kano today. That's because these people already have footprints, indelible footprints on the sands of time. They cannot be eroded. They cannot be taken out just like that. They have done significant things. They have not hurt, they have not done things, they have not done any hurt as it were. I'm not saying any. You know, there is no way anyone will walk. That is true. But let's be factual. Should anybody come out and speak for Nigerians? How can you speak for over 2 million, over 200 million people or persons? How would you come out and say the minds of 200 million? Yes, our leaders, the governors can go out and speak for 20 million people in his state. The president can go out and speak for on behalf of 200 million, but not the minds. How would you come out and you stay in the state house, you are there every 24 hours of the day, or you are either in and out with the president, and you come out to come and speak? Are you trying to make the president happy, as if he cannot see, he cannot hear the groanings of people? Yes, he could be doing certain things. He could have said, yes, I'm doing certain things, but sincerely speaking, how does that affect people at the grassroots? And somebody is here speaking for the people at the grassroots, saying that they are more attracted. Attracted in what sense? Maybe Mr. Femi Adesina needs to come back to here and explain further what he means by Nigerians being attracted to President Muhammadu Buhari. We are so attracted that we want him to come and do a third time, Abi. My people, I beg, just drop your comments. Drop your comment and share this video with others. Share the video. Share it. Look at what the man said. Let's read it. He said President Muhammadu Buhari pulls more crowd than notable politicians such as Nnamdi Azikiwe, Femi, Awolowo, Aminu, Kano, according to Mr. Femi Adesina, who are on earth. Would you have made such a statement? On earth. On earth. We are taught to have respect. That's why I will not say something. I would have felt like, how would you have made such a statement? I don't know who we want to compare. Everybody has his own life to live. That's what I feel. It's a serious matter, so that's what we just discussed. Everybody has his own life to live. Everybody has his own tenor. Every tenor is remembered for something. Every tenor, everybody will be remembered for something. Oh, General Yakubu Gowon remembered for something. Everybody. Awolowo too will be remembered for certain things. Azikiwe, Akintola, all of them will be remembered for certain things. Bayero will be remembered for certain things. Great men. And so you would have left the president to build his own legacy, and so that we will know what to remember him for. You write somebody's biography while he's still alive, he's still building together, he's still putting his stuff together. We can't conclude just now. But sincerely speaking, are you more attracted? Unfortunately, history has been taken out of curriculum, and we are hoping that if we come back, we did history during our days. He said, although Awolowo, Azikiwe, and Kano are dead, they command huge respect across broad till date. Each of them played a huge role in making Nigeria attain independence, and the country's history is incomplete without them. Truth and facts. He said, but in his weekly article, Adesina, who is Buhari's spokesperson, aligned with the third of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo that Buhari is probably Nigeria's most popular politician. That's true. That's true. He is popular. Very, very popular. I agree with you. I agree with Vice President. I agree with him. He said he's probably, you use the word probably, he's probably the most popular Nigerian politician. Osinbajo made this claim while addressing diplomats at the Nigerian High Commission in London last week. In his article, Adesina wrote, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is an honest man. Whatever he tells you, please take it serious. You can even take it to the bank, as it is a check that will never bounce. He said there may be a tendency to say, what else do you expect a number two man to say of his principal? He won't exoriate or flagellate him in public. And because he may possibly need his support for the number one position at a time in the future, so he would say sugary things. For a typical politician, ambitious, cold, calculating, scheming, yes. But those of us who work with the duo know that President Yemi Osinbajo is not in that mode. He is honest, factual, totally dependent on God for whatever the future holds. For whatever the future holds. Nothing is a matter of life and death. And so he could have chosen to keep quiet about the attributes of the president so that he wouldn't be misquoted, of course, or misconstructed. He wouldn't want to, or misconstrued, sorry. He wouldn't want to do that. When he said Buhari was possibly Nigeria's most popular politician that we have had in generations, I believe it, not just by the hearing of the ear, but because my eyes have seen it. Well, I'm still on it. We are still looking at it. He said, I'm old enough to have seen our colorful and even swashbuckling politicians in action. I've seen the great Femi Awolowo, the charismatic Nnamdi Azikiwe Zik of Africa, Shehu Shagari, Aminu, Kano, MK Abiola, Bashir Tofa, and many others in action, but I have not seen anyone with the kind of attraction, magnetic pull that Muhammadu Buhari has. And that is round the country, north and south. People swam round him as bees do to honey. No Nigerian leader, dead or alive, can match Buhari's public appeal. How true. How true. I think this article is supposed to be, anyway, we can look at that at our level. Let's look at it together. What do you see to this article? What's your opinion? Is President Muhammadu Buhari the most attractive politician that has ever lived? At least up to date. He said, I have been around the country with the president. I have also been to several countries of the world with him. I have not seen any other Nigerian leader, past or present, with this kind of allure, pull, fascination, magnetism. And that is why VP Osinbajo is right to have described him as possibly the most popular Nigerian politician that we ever had in this generation. Adesina buttressed his point of Buhari being admired by many Nigerians with an instance of how a crowd trooped to the streets when the president returned after his long medical vacation. That was expected. That was expected. That was normal. Nobody is so bad as to wish anyone, even the president, not to wish anybody dead. And so it was good. You saw that people went abroad, went to London to even pray for him. We had the likes of Pastor Adeboye and others, visit him. And by the grace of God, he returned. And so that's okay. He said, I remember that day in August 2017 when the president returned to the country finally from his medical vacation. From January of that year, he had been in and out of a couple of times, but speaking weeks and months outside, attending to his health, he wrote. And finally, on August 19, he returned home triumphantly. We were at the airport to receive him. I have told the stories a number of times to dispel the idiocy that it was a certain Jubilee of Sudan that came back and not Buhari. The daughter of the immediate past chief of defense, Staff General Gabriel Onishakin, was getting married, and I had attended both the church service and reception, decked in full Yoruba traditional attire of agbada and a cap to match. Straight from the ceremony, I went to the airport to join the welcome party for the president. We, the principal aides, were on a line to receive the president as he descended from the aircraft, and he shook hands with each person, having one wisecrack or the other to say, as is typical of him. When he got to me, he said, Adesina, this is the best I've seen you dressed. And we both laughed. Jubilee of Sudan. How did he know I was Adesina? How would he know how I normally dress? Did you see? I say again, but that is just a digression, not the story I really want to tell to support the topic at hand. We entered the vehicle, lined up, and the convoy moved. It was perhaps the longest journey I'd ever witnessed from the airport to the to the town where the they come from, like locusts. They swam onto the roads at many times, forcing the convoy into a crawl. I didn't know that such huge population resided in the communities along the airport road. Not induced or procured in any way, the people trooped out in their thousands to welcome the president back home. Multitudes of ordinary Nigerians, the ones bearing the brunt of whatever was happening in the country then, they came onto the road waving, cheering, heralding the man they loved back into the country. Many times the convoy was forced to a dead slow until the president had to wave at them and they cheered uproariously. It took double or triple the normal time before we could get to the presidential villa. That's okay. We would not take much of our time anymore. I think you already got the message. Your opinions are welcomed. Thank you very much for watching. My name remains Kunle, and of course, I will be, giving you more of these serious matters on ONIF TV. Thank you very, very much again, and then I'll come back again. But then do the needful. Let's talk about it. What do you feel?